Welcome to the Couch Scouts Sports Podcast, bringing you the latest news and scores from the world of sports. Here are your hosts, Noah Bowick and Anthony Bill.
What is up, everybody? We're back on the Couch Scouts Sports Podcast here with Noah and Anthony. We are talking the NFL Draft today. On Thursday, April 25th, is the start of the 2019 NFL Draft. So we have an episode where we are mock drafting at least the first two rounds, Anthony. That's what we're going to try and do. But what do you think, first of all, about this 2019 class? And how does it fare for the NFL teams who are getting to select these rookies?
Defense. If you need some pass rushers and some playmakers on the defensive side, this is a great draft. Might not be as deep as quarterback or playmakers like it has in the past, but definitely pass rushers are all over the place. Super exciting. A position that I'm surprised that usually is really strong in the draft, offensive line is not very strong until like the middle rounds this year. So
Yeah. I think there's a lot of like late round sleepers in this draft. A lot of players that really made a name for themselves at the NFL Combine that should make an impact on teams who really find great players in the draft. You know, talk about the Packers, the Patriots, just teams with history in the draft. They seem to always find those guys who get overlooked and then turn them into superstars. So just in this episode, we are going to be taking on the roles as an NFL GM. It's kind of the dream kind of the dream of every sports fan is you get to say how you get to run your favorite team. So if you guys don't know, Anthony's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Packers fan. So we'll see how this mock draft plays out, whether we get to draft for our favorite teams or not.
Cowboys don't have a first-round pick,
so
we got Amari Cooper, and that's fine. There's nobody as good as Amari Cooper at the wide receiver position in this draft.
So you better wait for the second round. But yeah, if you guys aren't following us on Instagram, we are on Instagram at the Couch Scouts Pod, and you can also find us on email at thecouchscoutspod@gmail.com. Go ahead and send us an email if you have some segments that you want to talk about. We'll bring you on as a guest, and we'd love to have you on the show. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. I think I'm going to be picking number one for the draft. I'll be doing the odds, and Anthony will be doing the evens.
That's right.
For the 2019 class, the number one pick is really the big question because there's so much uncertainty of what the Arizona Cardinals will do. I think you might have an idea of what you would do, but
I think I know what I would do, but I don't think it's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
I just don't understand why you would trade up last year and pick a top 10 quarterback, and then the very next year, you know, it's like you propose to a girl, and then a year later you're like, yeah, I'm done. I'm gonna marry somebody else now. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you just invested in this, so. Yeah. But hey, whatever. It's your first pick, not mine, so I'm all good on that.
As long as it's not the Cowboys.
So remember, this is what we would do. This isn't like projecting what they're gonna do, which we can say that too. I mean, after he picks, I think everybody kind of knows or has a feeling what Arizona's going to do, but this is what we would do if we were the GM in that position. So
Right. So right now, top 5 prospects who are on the board, you have, this is just overall, not based on need. You got Nick Bosa from Ohio State, Quinnen Williams from Alabama, Jawan Taylor from Florida, offensive tackle, Brian Burns from Florida State, and DK Metcalf from Mississippi.
The draft machine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh Allen, he's from Kentucky. Noah Fant, tight end.
Dude, Noah Fant, man. That dude has a chance to be like a Gronk type.
Yes.
Tight end. Crazy. Yep. Jimmy Graham, Gronk type tight end. Crazy. Excited to see that man play.
So, like Anthony said, defensive heavy. I'm guessing the first round is going to be filled with a lot of linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties, interior defensive linemen. We'll see. But I'm going to get us started with the number one pick, who it goes to the Arizona Cardinals. So right now, the the question is last year they traded up, drafted Josh Rosen.
10th overall.
They had a disaster of a season. Ended up firing their head coach, bringing in Byron Leftwich to do play calling, and the offense kind of got back to life. But you got Josh Rosen at quarterback. They drafted Christian Kirk. He seems to be a promising wide receiver, had a season-ending injury, and then they have David Johnson, and can't forget about Larry Fitzgerald coming back for another season. So they have a few weapons, but and I really personally thought that Josh Rosen did as best as he could.
His offensive line sucked.
Yeah. So, and the question is Kyler Murray. That's the name, the quarterback that everyone's throwing out there. Everyone's touting him as the next Russell Wilson, and a lot of people are saying that the Cardinals should pick him number 1 and just trade away Josh Rosen. However, if I was the GM,
that's right.
I'm going to stick with Josh Rosen.
Yes.
I liked what I saw last year. I'm not going to try and trade Josh Rosen. I mean, I'm guessing they could get some pretty good some trade picks for him, but some draft picks for him. But I just think you're basically doing the exact same thing another year later of drafting a quarterback who we all know that when you draft a player, there's a measure of uncertainty of whether you get to, like, if they're going to be good or not. So I think you already have a year under his belt in Josh Rosen. So I don't think they're going to go with Kyler Murray. And based on that, I'm going to go with Nick Bosa from the Ohio State. He is the best, I think the best defensive prospect in this draft. He's an incredible edge rusher. I think he has a potential to be the best of the Bosa brothers.
No doubt.
And he obviously didn't play much at Ohio State last year after the injury, but just from what we saw in the combine of what he did participate in, he looks great.
He's a freak.
Yeah. So I think it's a great place for the Cardinals to start.
Yeah, it's smart because look at that division. Which 3 quarterbacks are in that division? Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, Russell Wilson. You need somebody to rush. They need a pass rusher.
Yeah.
And they need offensive line as well. But I think that's a great pick. I would totally go with that.
All right, so there's your number 1 pick. We're going Nick Bosa to the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray stays on the board, but over to you, Anthony, with the San Francisco 49ers. They get the 2nd pick.
Yeah, well, I was going to take Bosa, but that isn't on the board anymore. So, man, honestly, I would probably, let's see, they could use some defensive help. They definitely need weapons, but it's too early to take somebody number 2. The 49ers, I'm getting another rusher. I'm probably going to go with Josh Allen here.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they added D Ford, correct? Right. Yeah, they added D Ford, and I just mentioned DeForest Buckner. So, yeah, Josh Allen, linebacker, outside linebacker, but you can kind of put him as a rusher in that 3-4 type, whatever, all that. But yeah, I just think Josh Allen he's not Khalil Mack, but he's that kind of potential, coming out of college. He's just a freak. And, I mean, he helped Kentucky. He helped put Kentucky football on the map. How often do you hear that? Never. So.
Yeah, he had a really good combine.
Yeah.
I think that's when he really got put on the map, was the combine, but had a really great senior year. 17 sacks, 21.5 tackles for loss.
5 forced fumbles.
Yeah, 5 forced fumbles. So
yeah, dude,
he's a playmaker.
He is a freak, and he's super confident. He's been quoted many times saying, "I'm the best player in this draft, and I'm going to show everybody." I'm like, that's the kind of guy I want on my team. It's not like a cockiness; it was a confidence.
Yeah.
So, yeah, number 2 overall, San Francisco.
Okay, we go back to pick number 3 is the New York Jets, who the big news of the offseason was they added Le'Veon Bell, and because of that, they right now they need an edge rusher, they need cornerbacks, but they also need an offensive tackle, and so I'm going to say that Jawan Taylor, the offensive tackle out of Florida, gets picked here just to, one, help out Sam Darnold in the pass game, but also just to boost that rushing attack, because they're going to rely heavily on Le'Veon Bell. So I'm going to go Jawan Taylor out of Florida, offensive tackle.
Wow, it's a good pick for them. They need to protect Sam Darnold for sure. All right, 4th, the Oakland Raiders. One of their many first-round picks, so they need a lot of help. I feel like they have Derek Carr. You gotta make sure he knows he's the guy. I think this is an opportunity. Honestly, if I'm the GM for the Raiders here, I'm probably letting somebody trade up to come after Kyler Murray right here.
Sure.
But we're not going to do that in a mock draft. So the Raiders 4th overall, I'm just going to go with the best player on the board. That's Quinnen Williams.
Yep.
I think Quinnen Williams, that's something that they need. And if you can get him at 4, that's a steal, But they need something on that defensive line. Obviously, they lost Khalil Mack last year. So they need to get somebody to wreak havoc and help out on that defense. So I'm going in with Quinnen Williams.
All right. Quinnen Williams goes to the Oakland Raiders. We move to pick number 5, which is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kind of had an up and down season, starting Ryan Fitzpatrick because of Jameis Winston's suspension, and then a lot of struggles there. Winston come in, struggles, but kind of finished the year on a high note. They bring in Bruce Arians, who really believes in Winston, so they like him there at quarterback. I actually, as a GM, I was like, okay, I think I might just kind of shake things up and draft Kyler right here for the purpose of we don't really know what you're getting out of Winston, but I think if I was a GM, based on having Bruce Arians as a coach, I got to put my trust in my coach and his belief in Winston. So I'm going to pass on a quarterback there. I'm actually going to go. Brian Burns is a prospect out of Florida State, an edge rusher that's looking good, but I'm actually going to go with. There we go. So edge rusher out of Michigan, Rashawn Gary. He's not ranked that high on this list, but I think he's going to be a great talent. So he's going to go number 5 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we move to number 6 with the New York Giants, which this will be a big pick here.
Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins.
It has to be.
Wow.
Man, it has to be, and it's not just because I'm an Ohio State guy. This guy is legit. Man, like, come on.
Before Kyler.
Yes, of course. Like I said though, I think Kyler will be somebody will trade up. And I've just been hearing things lately that I think the Giants are actually in love with Dwayne Haskins. They just don't want nobody to trade in front of them to get him.
Sure.
And a lot of teams, somebody said the other day, I think it was McShay, one of the draft guys was like, you know what, lately I think we've been kind of hearing these rumbles that a lot of teams are planting these rumors that Haskins isn't that high on their board because they want him to fall.
Wow.
That's how good, like, they just, I don't know. And I've been saying it all along, obviously. And it was pretty cool. Urban Meyer was on an interview with Colin Cowherd the other day, and Cowherd said, would you give your boy Dwayne Haskins the keys to a $5 billion franchise like the Giants right now? He's like, no, not right now. He said maybe in a year or two. He said that situation is ideal. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Sit behind Eli for a year.
Yeah.
And just get groomed.
I like that.
I was like, oh, man, even Urban, like, some coaches would be like, yeah, my guy should go number 1 right now. And Urban's like, no, he's going to need groomed.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think behind Eli would be perfect. Yeah.
Eli,
the thing about the Mannings that made them so great, outside of talent, is their freaking IQ.
Yeah.
They know the game.
Yeah.
And Haskins is like that. So I think Haskins fits them perfectly.
Yeah.
And I think he's just the best quarterback, honestly. You can go with the next Russell Wilson, but why not go with the next potential? He's not Peyton or Tom Brady, but a big quarterback like that. Go with that.
Okay. Pick number 6, New York Giants, Dwayne Haskins, quarterback out of Ohio State. That moves us to the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 7. Kind of like we said, we assume that Kyler Murray will be off the board at this point, trading up. And so for that reason, I'm still not going to pick Murray. I'm going to go. Yes, they have. Yeah, they signed Nick Foles. I think they're going to give him a chance. I don't think that they're going to want to develop Murray under Nick Foles or in that system. So I'm going to go with a Mississippi State edge rusher in Montez Sweat. He ran a 4.41 40-yard dash, which is faster than
290 pounds.
Yeah, faster than Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, and Antonio Brown.
260, sorry.
He had 12 sacks, 14.5 tackles for loss, 53 tackles. Here's the thing. He does have some health concerns. He has a pre-existing heart condition. So he might actually fall further on this, but I love what I saw from him just in the Combine and the Senior Bowl. He really dominated So I'm going to go with him, Montez Sweat, as the number 7 pick in the NFL draft. And that moves us to the number 8 pick and the Detroit Lions. For you, Anthony.
Yeah, I think it is time to redeem that Eric Ebron pick from a couple years ago, and I'm going with T.J. Hawkinson.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Stafford could use a tight end like that,
Yep.
And I just not much to say other than Hawkinson is he's a beast, I mean, he torched Ohio State a couple years ago. I've been seeing this man. He's a beast. So Hawkinson 8th.
Yeah, and I like that pick just based on what the Detroit Lions are building. They grabbed the coordinator from the Patriots. They signed Trey Flowers and Danny Amendola from the Patriots, and Hawkinson really has a lot of comparisons. Has a lot of comparisons to Gronkowski. So, a good pick there. We move to the 9th pick with the Buffalo Bills. They drafted Josh Allen last year at quarterback, so they are they're set there. I am going to go with. Let me see who else is on our list.
Josh Allen needs help.
Oh, I see. Yes, Josh Allen definitely needs help. Their wide receivers are lacking.
They signed Cole Beasley.
I'm gonna go here. Number
Ed Oliver
with the 9th pick, interior defensive lineman out of Houston.
That's a good pick.
At the number 9 pick, which moves us to the number 10th pick with the Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos, 10th overall. I think it's time.
Yes.
Kyler Murray.
Yes.
I think he's already gone by this time, obviously. But if he's on the board at 10, Joe Flacco is a 1-year rental. And that's how the Denver Bronco quarterbacks have been for the last 4 years since Peyton. So, Kyler Murray, why not?
If you're a Broncos fan, getting Kyler Murray somehow at the 10th pick, you are just on cloud 9.
Yeah, honestly, I think Kyler's obviously going to be going way before, so I would have probably went with Drew Lock here, but I'm not going to pick Drew Lock over Kyler Murray.
Sure.
That's it.
Okay, to the number 11 pick is the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with Devin White, linebacker out of LSU.
Solid.
It's definitely one of the biggest needs.
It's a steal.
Yeah.
That late.
Yeah, he was really the center of that LSU defense, and with the departure of Vontaze Burfict, how do you say his last name?
Yeah, Burfict.
Yeah. He did he go to Oakland?
He did.
So he departs. He was a part of the defensive front of the Bengals for a long time, but he departs. And they really showed in 2018 that they are lacking on the defensive end and kind of have lost. That was kind of their strong suit for a long time. So I think they go defense first. They go linebacker heavy, and Devin White, the 11th pick out of LSU. And I guess here you go.
Oh, it's your boy.
You get to be the GM of the Green Bay Packers with the 12th pick.
I'm sorry. I just dropped my phone. What? Okay. Let's, what would you want here? I'm like lending a hand here. I'm the GM. You're Aaron Rodgers. Aaron, what do you want?
Okay. Well,
what do you want? Because I have somebody that I want to pick for you, but I'm going to ask you first.
Man, here's the problem. There are so many offensive weapons on the board because I think we've picked maybe two.
2 quarterbacks. That's it.
Yeah, 2 quarterbacks and 1 tight end
and an offensive lineman
have gone off the board. So, based on what the Packers have done historically, I'm going to say that they're going to go defense. And if this was the situation, I think I would go defense because there hasn't been any wide receivers that have gone off the board. So would you
say Brian Burns to replace Clay Matthews?
I think I would go...
Or Devin Bush from Michigan. Devin Bush is a solid linebacker as well from Michigan.
I think I would go...
Or defensive back?
I think I would go Burns.
Yeah? Let's go with that. Let's go with Brian Burns. Okay. I think who I was going to pick might be available later.
Okay.
Because you guys have 20-something, right?
Yeah, we got 2 first rounds.
Yeah. There you go. Brian Burns. That's a good steal. That's a good pick.
Brian Burns, defensive end, Florida State, 235 pounds last season. Showed up at the combine almost 14 pounds heavier, but ran a 4.53 40-yard dash, which was just incredible. He gets a lot of comparisons to Aldon Smith. So he would be a great fit for the Packers, and I think the offense comes, the defense is what has always been their weakness. So I think that's a good pick there. We go to the 13th pick, the Miami Dolphins. They definitely need a quarterback, and I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go Daniel Jones here and over Drew Lock. I like Daniel Jones out of Duke. I think he gets some immediate chance to play. He did not do much in the Senior Bowl, but he really he has great mobility compared to Drew Lock. I think Drew Lock has some development to do. Both of them do, but I think Daniel Jones, his ability to run, really gives him an edge over Lock in my book. So number 13th pick, Daniel Jones out of Duke. And we go to the Atlanta Falcons, who definitely need some defense.
They do. They kind of need some interior defense. Can you scroll down a little bit on some defensive line for me? I really like that. I don't know if that's where they would go. Christian Wilkins. Man. I would... Let's go with Jeffrey Simmons from Mississippi State.
Okay.
I know it's probably a stretch, but they really need that. He's defensive tackle. Solid. And, they obviously need help for defense. So.
Yeah. Okay. That's the 14th pick. We move to the number 15th pick, which is with the Washington Redskins. At quarterback, they bring in Case Keenum.
They have 5 quarterbacks, which means you have none.
Yes. And I think that they definitely need some wide receiver help. So here's the name and the guy that everyone's been looking at, DK Metcalf. Blew up on Twitter because of his shirtless picture. He just is jacked for wide receiver and then destroyed in the combine. Just had some,
4.3, 340.
Yeah.
Faster than Julio.
Yeah.
Bigger than Julio.
That's all you need that's all you need to know. So I think he's a generational talent, and we go with him as the 15th pick.
Nice.
And to the Carolina Panthers at 16.
Carolina Panthers. Right here, I'm going to go with Clelin Ferrell from Clemson.
Okay.
They need some edge rushing, and this dude tore up the college football playoff. And he might not have been the best overall defensive lineman on his team. Christian Wilkins and who's the other one? Dexter Lawrence.
Yep.
But he was the edge rusher. He was the one that would come bursting in from the side. So they need somebody, since Julius Peppers has been gone, to replace that edge rushing, phenomenon. I think that's what I'm going with.
Okay. Back to the New York Giants.
Yeah, 17.
With the 17th pick, I'm going to go Devin Bush, linebacker out of Michigan. He was a really solid prospect for Michigan, and I think he just shores up some of the needs that the Giants have on the defensive end. I would have liked to get an edge rusher in there, but I think that he is the best available on the board at this point at the 17th pick.
Yeah, that's really good. Let's see, the Minnesota Vikings, 18th. I'm going to go with, what's his name from Bama? Jonah Williams, offensive lineman, I believe. Where's he at? There he is, yes. Yeah. But coming into the last season, college football, before the draft, coming into last season, he was supposed to be, a top 5, top 10 pick. And he kind of had a little bit of struggles, and his combine wasn't that great, or pro day, whichever one. So I think he slides a little bit. But in a draft that's not really heavy offensive line, I think this is a good pick at 18.
Yeah.
They need to protect that $100 million man back there, Kirk Cousins. So.
Yeah. I think that's a great pick. I'm looking around at some options here for the 19th pick, which is the Tennessee Titans. They were in the playoff race.
Mm-hmm.
They just, I don't know. Their offense has really been lacking with Mariota, but they really kind of found their groove towards the end of the season with Derrick Henry. They needed an edge rusher, but they also need an interior offensive lineman. I'm gonna go Cody Ford offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. I think that he just really is going to help with the protection of Mariota. Mariota got hit a lot last season, had some injury issues. Ford's coming off a really strong season for Oklahoma and will be an immediate starter. I think he's a great prospect. 6'4", 330 pounds.
Yeah, solid. I just realized something. We're 19 picks in, and a defensive back has not went. And defensive backs are usually just going off the board.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what I should do here. But, man, I just want to throw a scenario out there. How amazing would this be? There's a wide receiver in this draft who has ties to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh.
Man, could you imagine? Do you think the Steelers would do something like that? Would they replace Antonio Brown with his little cousin?
Gosh,
Hollywood Brown.
I don't think they would. I just can't imagine.
How awesome would that be? Man, how awkward would that be for him coming in? Ben Roethlisberger and Juju looking at him like, say something.
Yeah.
Say something.
For real.
So I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to throw that out there, how amazing that would be. Because Juju's going to need some help. Outside of him, they don't really have anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with DeAndre Baker here.
Okay.
The corner out of Georgia.
Okay.
Just because we haven't had a corner go yet, and they need some corner help because they just need some corner help because you're about to face the Cleveland Browns twice.
Yeah.
Who are stacked at wide receiver and weapons, so you're gonna need somebody to help out, shut down. So with the Steelers.
There we go.
So I'm with DeAndre Baker.
Good pick. I am going to pick for the 21st pick of the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go with we're going to go defensive back again. I'm going to go with a safety in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, safety out of Florida. He's 5'11", 210 pounds. Had 4 interceptions, 3 sacks, 71 tackles, 9 tackles for loss.
Oh, he's a beast.
I love the Florida defense. I love just his athletic ability and what he showed in the combine. And the Seahawks, it showed like they had a decent offensive approach in 2018, but it was really their defense that has kind of fallen apart, and that was their main staple for a long time. So I'm going to go with Gardner-Johnson, 21, and on to you, Anthony, with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with I'm surprised he's went this far. I just think he just kind of has had a bad rap lately, but Dexter Lawrence from Clemson.
Okay.
When I think of freaking hold on, actually. I'm sorry. Did Christian Wilkins go yet? I'm sorry. Did we draft Christian Wilkins? I said the wrong Clemson player.
No.
Christian Wilkins, yes,
okay.
Sorry. Christian Wilkins, because I was going to say, when I think of Baltimore Ravens defense, outside of Ray Lewis and Suggs, I think of Haloti Ngata.
Yeah.
And Christian Wilkins is a big, huge defensive tackle like that.
Okay.
And he obviously has been the captain and superstar of Clemson's defense for years.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a solid pick here. Obviously, I need some wide receiver help, but when you got a quarterback that can't really throw it to wide receivers, why waste a first-round pick on a wide receiver?
Sure.
So, Christian Wilkins. Not Christian Wilkins. Gosh. Keep saying the wrong name.
Yeah,
Christian Wilkins. Yeah. I get him and Dexter Lawrence mixed up. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the Houston Texans. They kind of had an up-and-down year, made it to the playoffs, lost to the Colts, got smoked by the Colts. Mm-hmm. They have some big needs. They need to shore up the offensive line, but they also need a cornerback.
Yeah. Greedy.
I really like Greedy Williams.
It's tough. Wow, Drew Lock is still on the board.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Greedy Williams.
Nice, that's solid.
Cornerback out of LSU. He's a sophomore coming out, 6'2", 185 pounds. Really had a good combine as well, but he has great athleticism. He's got to work a little bit more, I think, on speed, but the Texans cut Kevin Johnson and let Kareem Jackson go in free agency, so I think the smartest decision is go there and then figure out the offensive line later. Then we go to the 24th pick. Back to you, Anthony, with the Oakland Raiders.
Oakland Raiders. All right, I love this man. It's one of my favorite players in the draft. Josh Jacobs.
Oh, okay. I like that pick. I like
just
that
thought
pick.
about it and I was like, wow, he's still on the board.
Yeah.
And it's because running back is so devalued. I feel like if this was 10 years ago, Josh Jacobs would go top 10, maybe top 5.
Okay.
But Josh Jacobs is just, man, I just love his story. A 3-star kid who barely got any scholarship offers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he just fits John Gruden. You
Oh.
know? And I don't know. I just love Josh Jacobs. He runs angry. And he's got a lot to prove, just like Marshawn Lynch. And Marshawn Lynch is there. So, yeah.
It's a good pick.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles, the 25th pick. Okay, so we're going to go with Nasir Adderley. He is a safety out of Delaware. I think that's one of the biggest needs that the Eagles have. They also need help at the offensive line position, but safety is definitely their number one need. Adderley is underrated and had a good combine. Really like what he did, and he should. Yeah, I don't know. I think he'll be one of those safeties that like not a lot of people heard about, but he, 10 years down the line, you're like, man, this guy, where did he come from? Delaware.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'll go with him with the 25th pick, and then we go to the Colts, who really they're on the up and coming.
They are. They need one more weapon.
Yeah.
And I think this is the time. I'm gonna go with Paris Campbell.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll go with Paris Campbell.
Okay.
From Ohio State.
Wow.
Yeah, the fastest player in the draft. Well, I think pretty close.
Yeah.
But yeah, why is he not coming up?
Oh, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha. Yeah, Paris Campbell. I mean, they have Devin Funchess. They added him. They have T.Y. Hilton. He's getting older.
Yep.
Paris Campbell, put him in the slot, run some sweeps with him.
Yeah.
So many of Dwayne Haskins' touchdowns at Ohio State last year was a little quick, either slant or just a quick, like, not a sweep, but, that little pop pass, that little touch pass.
Yeah.
And just ask Michigan how fast Paris Campbell is. He took pretty much a handoff and took it 80 yards up the sideline. So
yeah.
I think he, on that turf, indoor,
yeah.
I'd love to see Paris Campbell running there. So
that's what Andrew Luck really excels at is just those quick throws and just let him go down the field.
Yeah.
So that's a great pick. Onto the Raiders again. This is their
it's the Cowboys pick.
The pick that they got from the Cowboys, 27th pick. There's a player I really like on here, but I think I can get some similar value later on. So I'm gonna go with Byron Murphy, a cornerback out of Washington.
So good. That dude hits.
Yeah, super hard hitter. He did not run that well at the combine, but he did well in all the other drills. He had 58 tackles, 13 passes batted down, 4 interceptions last year, a forced fumble.
Yeah.
And I think he's exactly what he fits a Raider. If you know what I mean there, he just kind of embodies that. So
yeah.
27th pick, Byron Murphy, cornerback out of Washington, and we move to the Los Angeles Chargers. I always got to remember that.
I still say San Diego.
But yeah.
How much longer do you think Phillip Rivers has? And if Drew Lock is still on the board, I think you draft Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Because he's a project. He's not going to start right away.
Yep.
I think you draft Drew Lock
with a great pick.
The idea of Phillip Rivers has 1 or 2 years left.
Yeah.
We'll let him help groom Drew Lock. So
that's a great pick.
Yeah. The Chiefs.
They need some help on defense.
Oh my gosh, do they ever?
Without a doubt, they need some help on defense, which I'm liking because there's some teams coming up here that are really going to love the offensive weapons that are still available. I'm going to find this. Here he is, Justin Lane, cornerback out of Michigan State. That's definitely one of the Chiefs' biggest needs, and I love Justin Lane. He was a former wide receiver, so he's got some size to him. He's 6'2", 192 pounds. He ran a 4.5 40 at the combine and is definitely one of those physical cornerbacks. He's going to get in your face. He's going to win a lot of jump balls, and he's going to go up and fight for it. And that's definitely something that the Chiefs lacked was obviously a defense. They have the offense down, so go after defense.
Yeah.
And look at this again. We come back to you with the Green Bay Packers.
That's right. And this is why I said I think I can get him later and I'll save it. But I'm going to go get your weapon for Aaron Rodgers right now, and I'm Marquise Brown.
There we go.
Yeah, I think Marquise Brown is perfect. Devontae Adams, they need somebody because Randall Cobb is now gone.
Yep.
Dallas Cowboy, thank you.
Yep.
Take him. And Marquise Brown just fits the same exact position. And he's more polished, I think, than Randall Cobb.
Okay.
Randall Cobb turned into a beast, a wide receiver, I'll give you that. But he came out, quarterback, all that, and he had to learn the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
Marquise Brown, man, he got to play with Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray the last couple years. So he can deal with the superstar quarterback.
Yeah.
And I feel like Aaron Rodgers every year seems like he's watching it. If he's watching the draft, I don't know. And he's got to be thinking, can I get some freaking help in the first round? Like, I'm watching all these other quarterbacks get these stud young receivers and running backs and tight ends, and you guys keep giving me defense. It's not helping me.
Yeah.
I think you have to build around Aaron Rodgers for these last, this window that he has left.
Yeah.
Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
He's going to be a stud.
All right, Marquise Brown for the Packers. I would be very excited. I would be very excited to get that. And then we go to the 31st pick of the NFL draft is the Los Angeles Rams, runners up in the Super Bowl. They need
running back.
Oh, yeah, they got who knows what's going on there with Todd Gurley. But they do need to keep working on the defense. I think they got the offensive side. Same thing with the Chiefs. Got the offense down, and they just can keep building around Aaron Donald on the defensive end. And I think for that reason, I'm going to go into their secondary. They got some good veteran players, but I think that they could use a good safety, just someone who can play in multiple positions. So I'm going to go Jonathan Abram. From Mississippi State, a safety. He 5'11", 205 pounds. He really has some great potential. He's a hard hitter. He's not afraid to go, be in the middle of the field and to hit guys, but also to come up and defend on the run as well. So Jonathan Abram to the Los Angeles Rams, I think he'll be a really great pick.
Yeah.
And to the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Last pick in the first round.
This is tough because you have Rob Gronkowski retired, but you also lost Trey Flowers. So I'm like, what does Belichick do here?
Yeah.
I think you can always find pass rushers. You can always find defense. Belichick is a defensive guy.
Yeah.
But you can't always find a replacement to Gronkowski like Noah Fant.
Yeah.
Tight end, Iowa.
Yeah.
So I'm going Noah Fant. He's one of the top-rated players in the draft.
Yeah.
So for him to be available this late.
Yeah, if he was available this late, I would be very surprised.
I think Noah Fant is without question.
No brainer.
The guy right here.
No brainer.
You got to give Tom Brady as many weapons as you can until he's done. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I am going to go. We're going to start the second round, and we're starting again with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to go offense here to just pair up. Larry Fitzgerald, I'm guessing it's going to be his last year, and this is a great wide receiver class. Some really, really great potential. I'm going to go with another guy who showed out in the combine, and a wide receiver out of Iowa State, Hakeem Butler. He has incredible size. He's 6'6", 225 pounds, and I mean he really can do it all. Has really, really, really great ball skills. Gets a lot of comparisons to the Chargers, Mike Williams, and I think he'll be just a great development. I think he'll play this in 2019 and beyond once Fitzgerald gets out of the picture. Him and Christian Kirk would be a great 1-2 punch.
With Josh Rosen.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Okay. Back to the Colts. I think they could use some. They could use some help on the defensive side. Gave him a weapon in the first. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think Jerry Tilley here, defensive tackle, defensive lineman, whatever. Just a solid player, and he will get in there and do the dirty work. I really like him a lot.
He's a big guy, 6'5".
Yeah, and 300 plus pounds, and just playing for Notre Dame. They play a lot of the Big Ten schools, and the Pac-12 schools. And obviously, if you know Big Ten football like we do, Ohio State and Wisconsin, it's smash mouth, and he performed well in all those games. So I think he'd be solid in that division, solid in the middle of that defensive line. So
Yeah, that's a good pick. Let's see here. I am going to go with the 35th pick overall back to the Oakland Raiders. They could still use an edge rusher, could still use a linebacker. Ooh, I like that pick, but yeah, I'm gonna go offensive line. I'm gonna go Chris Lindstrom, a offensive lineman from Boston College. He's definitely one of the best in the class. He would be just a huge upgrade for the Raiders. They had a lot of offensive lineman injuries in 2018. I think they seem pretty committed to Derek Carr, and so I think just giving him more time. He really struggles when he has. He has a quick release, but when he has to hold on to the ball for a long time, that's when he starts making poor decisions. So I'll go Chris Lindstrom from Boston College, and we go back to you, Anthony, with the 49ers 36th pick.
49ers 36th pick, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I say give man. Let's see here. You got the defensive backs. Let's see. I think you gotta get a defensive back here.
Yeah.
If you're the 49ers. And
you got a cornerback.
Actually, you know what? They need help at wide receiver. They need to give Garoppolo something. And I think it's a good spot for N'Keal Harry here.
Okay.
Yeah, N'Keal Harry has potential to be the best wide receiver in this class.
Oh, hands down.
You know, he was a stud at Arizona State. So, and obviously his last year at Arizona State, he got to spend the whole year under Herm Edwards, so an NFL coach. So you know he got him NFL ready.
Yeah.
So I think N'Keal Harry, you got to get Garoppolo some help now.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. I am going to go with I'm going to go Dalton Reisner out of Kansas State. He was one of the best right tackles in college this year with Kansas State, and I think that he will be one of the best right tackles developing in 2019. And the Giants, they're going to need him when Haskins comes into that.
And that was the problem with Eli last year.
Yeah.
They didn't protect him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and just more time, more holes for Saquon Barkley. So I think they go offensive tackle there.
That's very smart. Very good. I think the Jags here, they're going to stay offensive line as well, and why not just take the best one that's left on the board, Andre Dillard.
Yeah.
Offensive tackle, Washington State. You got to get some protection for Fournette.
Yeah.
You know, just keep him healthy. And then obviously for Nick Foles there, so Andre Dillard.
Yeah, I think that he'll be a really good development player for the Jaguars, a guy that they can bring in and really get in some good work and train up. Yeah. We go back to the 39th pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They still have some offense. They have some defensive needs. All right, we're gonna go cornerback out of Penn State, Amani Oruwariye, for the Buccaneers. He's 6'1", 204 pounds, a Big Ten guy, and he has really good size, really good length, and ball skills. I think he's gonna fit well in a scheme where he can really match up with kind of that slot receiver. So I would imagine that's where he would play, but we're going to go Amani. Welcome to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
For sure.
And we go to the Buffalo Bills, Anthony.
Yeah, 40th overall. I don't know. I think this might be a little too early, but this is something if I were the Bills, I would entertain it because I need an edge rusher. And I feel like this guy just fits the Buffalo, the Bills Mafia, the Buffalo, just tough.
Yeah.
Out there in the snow with no shirt underneath his jersey, and it's Chase Winovich.
Oh, yes.
I feel like he just fits the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
So I'm going with Chase Winovich. Wow, Dexter Lawrence is still available.
Yes. That is a great pick. Chase Winovich from Michigan. I love him. Had a really tough injury there at the end.
Revenge tour canceled.
We go back to the Broncos. So the Broncos, we had selecting Kyler. And
Yeah.
and you just said it. Dexter Lawrence still available. He really didn't have a great combine and had some off the field concerns as well. So that's definitely a question. But he's a true nose tackle, just a huge guy, 6'4", 340 pounds, big guy. I'm gonna go with him to fill in the defensive needs of the Broncos.
Nice. All right, for the Cincinnati Bengals, let's go. You go to offensive line for me, please, or offensive tackles particular. Let's see. I was really no offensive tackle. You know what? Irv Smith Jr. here. I'm surprised he's still available.
He is one of my favorite prospects in this draft.
And freaking, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Tyler Eifert can't stay healthy.
Yes,
so, no. Irv Smith Jr. would be. He's going to be a beast immediately. You know. So, tight end out of Alabama.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. I'm going to go A.J. Brown out of Ole Miss as well. He's a big slot receiver. Played with DK Metcalf, and he's got big playability. And I think for the Lions, they have Kenny Galladay, and they don't have a whole lot else. And I think just to get Matthew Stafford some help. And we already had them drafting Hawkinson, so just to get those two offensive weapons,
that'd be great.
That's where they definitely need to make the big play. So I'm going to go A.J. Brown.
Yes.
With the Detroit Lions.
You can scroll right back down. So, I'm trying to remember who we took the first pick with them. Crap, I'm sorry, it's missing me. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm right here for the Green Bay Packers, 44th overall. Clinton Dix is gone, and that's an Alabama safety. There's an Alabama safety that's a stud that's still on the board.
Yeah.
Deontay Thompson.
Yeah.
So Deontay Thompson right here for the Packers.
Who did we pick?
I can't think of it right now.
Marquise Brown?
That was the 30th pick. The 12th pick overall, though. I think it was a edge rusher, linebacker?
Yeah, it was.
Was it a defense?
From not Kentucky.
Sorry, guys.
Florida State.
Brian Burns.
Yeah, Brian
Sorry.
Burns. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go again with the Falcons. They need some more defense. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna go with Charles. Omenihu. I need Anthony for every single name.
Texas.
From Texas, interior defensive lineman.
Solid.
Man, the Falcons just got burned with a lot of injuries, but here you go. You got a 6'6", 275-pound defensive lineman. He's going to play in the B gap. He's just a run stuffer and moves well, played well, or competed well in the draft. So I'll go with him for the Falcons. And then we move to the 46th pick with the Washington Redskins.
So you did take Daniel Jones first round, right? Wide receiver? Or quarterback?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, they definitely need some help, you know.
Actually, no, I picked Metcalf, I believe.
For the Redskins. I thought you said Daniel Jones.
No. Daniel Jones went
I'm sorry, yeah? Miami. That's right, okay.
Yes.
Oh, nah, I ain't going to take quarterback here. I think there's a reason Alex Smith and Colt McCoy broke their legs on back-to-back weeks. Freak accidents, but their offensive line absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
Their offensive line has been horrible for a while. That's why RG3 didn't last. So I think you got to get an offensive lineman here. And I think there's two guys left on the board that are up there, top-rated players left. Garrett Bradbury, Eric McCoy. I'll just take Garrett Bradbury because he's rated higher.
Yeah.
So Garrett Bradbury.
Great pick.
Got to have somebody to block for the quarterback.
Great pick. I'm going to go 47th pick, and I'm going to go tag right off of that. I'm going to go with Eric McCoy to the Carolina Panthers. They need to protect Cam Newton. I don't know how many years he has left, but they need to protect him. So he's a great interior offensive lineman, going to be a great guard out of Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And so we move to the Miami Dolphins, 48th pick.
Yeah, and let's stay with offensive line. You know, they took a quarterback in the first round, so let's go with Yodny Kahusti.
Okay.
I think.
Yep.
Kahusti, whatever it is, from West Virginia.
Yep. And
The Browns finally get a pick.
Here are the Cleveland Browns. They traded away Jabril Peppers, I think, and they didn't sign Earl Thomas. So I think they're still looking for a cornerback or a safety.
Yo.
I'm going to go Lonnie Johnson.
Oh.
Who'd you want?
I'm just laughing because look at the guy right under the dude you're picking. Rocky Sin.
Rocky Sin.
He just fits the Browns.
He sounds like a
Lonnie
a
Johnson
safety.
Jr., solid.
Yeah, I'm going to go Lonnie Johnson Jr., cornerback out of Kentucky.
That's good.
And we move to the Minnesota Vikings, 50th pick.
Yeah, I think Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp is another dude. He's a safety out of Washington. He's another dude that hits. You know, he loves to hit people. And
yeah.
When you think of Minnesota Vikings defense has always been some hitters. You know, they like to hit. They tackle pretty well.
Yeah.
And I think he fits the back end of that defense very, very nicely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good pick. I'm going to go to the Tennessee Titans, and I'm going to go with a Wisconsin prospect, interior offensive lineman, Michael Dieter. This guy has some really, athletic talent. He's 6'6", 321, but scored a couple touchdowns for the Badgers, just either running out of the backfield or catching passes. So you know that he is athletic, which is a great thing about offensive tackles coming out of Wisconsin. And I think going to the warm weather in Tennessee, he'll be a great addition again for the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I think that's 2 linemen for the Titans that we've picked in this draft.
Yeah.
So definitely trying to protect Mariota.
Yep.
Solid.
Yep.
Okay, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they could still use some linebacker help, you know. They could use some edge help. But I think I really like Riley Ridley.
Yeah.
I think Riley Ridley out of Georgia.
Wow.
Wide receiver.
Wow.
I know there's still some guys up there like Deebo Samuel, who's a
Yep.
beast.
Yeah.
But I just like Riley Ridley. And a lot of people are kind of looking down on him in this draft. They're overlooking him, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going with Riley Ridley out of Georgia.
On to the Philadelphia Eagles. We got a safety with them in the first round. Okay, so we go to Philadelphia Eagles, and they still need either a running back, I think, or an offensive tackle.
There's a solid back still available too from that state.
Yes. I'm gonna go with this guy right here, and I'm gonna have you say the name because I don't know.
Looks like Jay Shy.
Polite.
Jakai. It's probably Jakai.
Jakai Polite. Edge rusher out of Florida. I think, he would just be a great addition to the Eagles on the defensive end. I'm always picking the guys I don't even know how to say their name, but I'm like, I can't not pick them because I can't say their name. But yes, on to you with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, so I think he went defensive back in the first round, you know, to help that. I think we got to go offensive line for the Texans.
Yeah.
Can I see some line
Greg
real
Little.
quick? Yeah, Greg Little. That's right. I know I just saw one. I think Greg Little, this dude was one of the top recruits in the country a few years ago.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the top 5 or 10 overall recruits in the ESPN 300 going into college, and he never really lived up to it at Mississippi.
Yeah.
But there's still that potential.
Yeah.
He's young, you know. Get him into Houston, and hopefully you can get him right.
That's good.
And, I think it'd be a great pick late in the second round. Mid-second round, whatever.
Okay, so here's a player I really like, and he's a safety, Juan Thornhill out of Virginia. The Texans get back-to-back picks in the second round, so they get 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, and I think we got cornerback, offensive tackle, and now we go safety. Thornhill had a great senior campaign, 6 feet, 205 pounds, but he ran a 4.4 240 and has a 44-inch vertical and some great game film. I love watching him.
Wow.
So we go with him to the Houston Texans.
You've been listening to the Couch Scout Sports Podcast. For more resources, follow us on Instagram @TheCouchScoutsPod. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast. We'll see you on the next episode.